We need a spiritual rewiring that enables us to see one another in our pain, in our fear, in our joy, and in our yearning, right? See us where we are, right? The person that wants to go to hell is because he's limited in his vision. The one that, being able to see each other in our pain, is probably because he's been disappointed before. Someone has let him down who's in faith. He has expected some things and he didn't get those things for whatever reason. It's where he is. It's not for me then to ostracize him. It's not for me to push him down. It's for me to bring him up. It's for me to love him where he is, not wait till I gets to where I want him to be. We have to love one another where we are. That's the only way we can be a blessing, and help one another out of the pit, out of the miry clay, onto the rock to stand, right? We cannot change global injustice today if we, wear my glasses on this one. We cannot change global injustice today if we isolate ourselves in places that are safe and removed and disconnected. To change the world, we're each going to have to find ways to get closer to people who are living on the margins of society. That's the only way we're going to reach the world, being able to go where the people are. But yeah, but your safety has to be a consideration. You only do that when you've considered it to be safe physically, safe psychologically, and safe spiritually. Don't go to a place that you don't have the grace for. But you're saying within the limit of where you find yourself, right? Be open, to love people where they are. Be open to love people where they are. Don't wait for people to come out of where they are to love them. Love them where they are, because that's what God will have us do. Love them where they are. The love you have for them where they are might bring them to the place where they need to be. If you wait for them to get to where they need to be, they'll probably never get there. They'll probably never leave the miry clay. We need to love one another where we are, right? And leave the choice to that person as to the next move based on the love the person sees, the light the person sees. We're not called to change one another. We're called to love one another. What we do here is influence one another, not change someone else, because none of us is God over the other. We're God over ourselves. We're God over our situations. We're not God over another human being. We're called to influence, not override or be God over another person. Trying to be God over another person is called witchcraft, right? And that's a sin. That's against God. That's of the devil. We can influence someone else, right? But we can't override their decisions, right? So you love people where they are, right? And your love will influence them, right? So we can't solve problems of building bridges from a distance. If you want to build bridges with people, it's not throwing things over the fence. It's going to where people are, right? And being close to those people, seeing them, understanding them, feeling them, and getting them. That's how you build bridges with one another, right? It's not just throwing things. That's how people, husband and wife, grew apart. Because one thing's that all I do is what I do, with my heart not being there. The wife thinks that the way to a man's heart is food, so you give the food, but you don't love the person. You're not there for the person. You're not seeing the person. You're not seeing the troubles, the pain, the change in the face. You're just giving the food, food. Or you are the husband just giving the money, money, money. That's then love, then love. We can't solve problems by building bridges from a distance. You need to be vulnerable. You need to move closer. You need to let the person know that you see him or her, that you understand him or her, that you get him or her, you feel him or her. That's what's important. It's not the food, it's not the money, it's your person, it's your attention that we all need. We all need one another, not the things that we can give, right? There is power when we get proximate. Only then can we have mercy and compassion. We can only have mercy and compassion when we see each other as human beings, when we see our own selves in another person. Then that's when we know what it is to have mercy and compassion. When we see God, the image of God in my fellow man, the mercy can arise and compassion can arise. Be kind, for every person is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Everyone has their own battle struggles they're going through. As I was reading this part, I just remembering a former colleague of mine, that each time I think about him, I just call him stupid, But looking at it again, he probably has struggles in his life he was going through and he didn't know how to communicate it. And the only way he could communicate it was to be antagonistic with everybody else, But yeah, if I had more time to spend with him, maybe we'll find a way to break through, But at the same time, everybody needs to protect their own heart. You have to do it in a way. Again, don't do it in a place where you're not safe. If you're trying to break through to somebody, make sure that you are safe physically, psychologically, and spiritually. Don't go to a place where you're being beaten psychologically and becoming less than yourself. You aren't going to be a blessing to someone else when you are being less than yourself. Don't forget the gift that we hold one another is our wholeness. My wholeness physically, my wholeness psychologically, my wholeness spiritually. That's what we bring to the table to be able to relate to one another and get a healthy and life-giving relationship. If I'm not whole, then I can't be a blessing. If I'm not whole, then I'm most probably going to be abused myself. We're not talking about being perfect. We're talking about making the best of what you have and bringing your best to the table, right? So last slide here. I thought we wouldn't be able to finish this, but we're in a home run here. In every story of our lives, we can choose to be a victim, a hero, or a learner. So says Reverend Head Backer. Everything that goes on in our life, every encounter we have, even with this one I spoke about, my old colleague here, I could have chosen to be a victim. Yes, I chose I was the victim and I fought back. I could choose to be the hero. In one part, I was the hero, in my fighting back. But in all of that, I could have better than the first two is I could choose to be a learner. And that's where I can look back and say, hey, maybe it was fighting a battle I had knew nothing about. And that's my better stance today, even at work, where I've had different kind of fight, relationship issues with some people, and as I come in a mature place today, I'm in a place of a learner, trying to see what the other person is going through, trying to take myself away from the incubement of the immediate emotions and coming outside the frame to see how things are playing and see how best or what best to do to get the result that I want. It's not about winning every battle. It's about winning the war. Looking at the battle and seeing the ones I need to let go, the ones that are critical that I put my feet down, the ones I don't have to put my feet down on so that I can win the war at the end of the day. The war is more important than the battles. The battles make the war, but the war is the most important thing. If you're going to win the war, it might mean that you don't have to win every battle. You know which ones are the critical battles, and you put all your energy on the critical battles. You measure on the majors and minor in the minors, right? That's what it takes to regulate your emotion and not let your emotion have the better of you, not let your emotion be lord over you. You lord it over your emotion and you use your emotion to get the target, the goal, the vision, the mission that you are about, right? And not be lost by your emotion. So don't be a victim. Don't be a hero either. Be a learner. Ask yourself, uh, what can I learn from this encounter? What can I learn from this moment? What can I learn from this interplay? Learn it and use it so that you can be the master of your fate, the master of your destiny, the captain of your soul, the captain of your career, your captain of your ministry, your captain of your company. And you can direct it where you want it to go. Not that you cry, oh, hey, it was because of this. No, it wasn't because of anything. Whatever you did is because you made a decision to do it. Wherever you are is because you made an appointment to be there by the things you did and did not do. So now is the time to make the decision on the things to do and the things not to do, so that when you get to where you get to, you will be proud of the decisions that you made. You'll be proud of the things that you learned and the things that you did, right? So thank you. Thank you for another time, coming to go through our chapter 8 of our book, The Amen Effect. And the Amen Effect is all about being able to regulate my emotion, being there for one another, seeing each other as human beings, and being able to break the divide, and be a blessing, a help to one another.